Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of a wrestling gal. And today I am once again joined by your co-president of PPK, Nikki Van Blair. How are you today?
What up? I'm great this fine Sunday morning. How are you?
I am so good. It is Saturday night for me. We are all across the world. It's still need to make it over to Australia, damn it. Or you need to come over here. We gotta make it happen, Nikki.
Oh yeah, so I will be going to America at some point this year.
Okay.
Um, I wish I could say it's for wrestling. It's literally for BravoCon. Um, but no, you need to come here because
I
like
know.
you have so many people here that love you. So it would be like the easiest thing ever.
That is one of my goals for either this year or next year. First need to get the passport unlocked though. So I know it's like, why don't you? It's like, I don't really travel a lot. But we'll make
Yeah.
it happen, I promise, because there's so many people over there that I love. And the last time that we talked was in a lead up to a big event down in Ballarat, that being Mickie James's her event. Before we talk about the specific match and the event itself, tell us about your overall experience at the Her event in Starcast Down Under back now in April. It's been 9 months, which is crazy.
It was it was a very surreal moment for myself and for Frankie.
Yeah.
But it's actually very interesting that you mention it. So like full disclosure, I had some personal stuff going on at that time. So I wasn't really able to soak in just how great it was that
Hmm.
I was featured on this show because, I had other stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I had some time to really think about it maybe in the past week. And I was like, so that was my first all woman show since coming out as trans, which is like a very monumental experience for me. Um, and just to be featured amongst all these women who happily accepted me, there was like, you know, if there was any kind of contention, I would have knocked them out. But, there wasn't. I was happily accepted, welcomed into the locker room. Um, and not just the locker room, but like meeting all the legends as well. Yeah, no, it was a very great experience, and I'm glad that even like 9 months later, I can sit down and really appreciate that. Um, but yeah, no, so to just even be featured on the show was great, but then to be in such an historic match for the OPW Women's Tag Team titles with my best friend
Yeah.
against two of my other close friends was just that'll go down in history in the NVB playbooks. To be honest.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. At the actual event, you and Frankie B faced Kingsley and Shay Cassidy for the inaugural OPW Women's Tag Team Championships. Unfortunately, did fall a little bit short. But like you said, what a monumental history making experience. The first ever women's tag team titles across all of Australia. So, talk to us about that experience and some of your main takeaways from the match itself.
Like obviously, you get into wrestling to be the winner, so obviously
Of
you wanted
course.
to win the titles, obviously. But just to even be in it was satisfying enough. And then for us to put on a great match, um, just in front of a Hall of Famer as well. I like not just like any
A
Hall of Famer.
fresh
It
Hall
was
of Famer, Bull Nakano.
fresh Hall of Famer Bull Nakano. Um, yeah, no, it was a really great experience, and I'm really happy that I got to share it with the other three women in the match.
Yeah, and you obviously mentioned there being a lot of legends there that weekend. One of them being Bull Nakano, obviously Mickie James. You had Victoria, you had Alicia Fox there. You even had like Bret Hart there. You had the Great Khali, Shelton Benjamin. A lot of people there for Starcast weekend. So I'm curious, did you have any memorable interactions with any of the legends there, or receive any feedback or advice from them during that time?
Um, so yeah, no, I had a lot of great experiences, but the ones I remember the most were so Frankie and I were like warming up
Yeah.
backstage, and Mickey walks past, and I'm like, yo, this is the best time to tell her that I did a Mickie James promo for a Year 9 drama monologue assignment. So I'm like, hey, Mickie, funny story that I need to tell you. And Frankie's like, Mickie, can you just pay attention? And I was like, just give me like 5 seconds. I'll be so quick. So I quickly told her this story, and she was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I was like, yeah, but I didn't get full marks, which is kind of rude if you think about it. Um, so yeah, no, I loved being able to tell that story because it's such a funny story if you really think about it. Frankie and I also spent the weekend bullying Shelton Benjamin, which was
Ooh,
really fun.
how so?
She, he made a comment. I don't know what it was. It was like a nice comment, like a friendly one. And Frankie just like snapped back at him. And ever since then, we were just relentless with that poor man to the point where he was getting ready for his match and then he saw us and he was like, make sure those two don't interfere in our match. And I was like, Shelton, if I run out and slap you, that's on you.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is there could be a little bit of a grudge match in the future, is what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely. Handicap match PPK against Shelton Benjamin. And I will slap that man down.
Oh, that's so funny. I do know a couple legends are coming over for World Series Wrestling. And Australia. I mean, Australia has legends over all the time. So you never know. Shelton Benjamin, they're coming. Actually, Shelton Benjamin will be in Australia in like 4 weeks, Nikki, for Grand Slam Australia.
Oh my God, he will be.
Yes, he will be.
I don't even need a match for this. I'll just find him and
I
slap
know.
him.
They're gonna have guards, like Shelton's gonna have like, do not let this person in, and like you're gonna sneak through. That's so funny. I just imagine you banging on the back door, let me in.
And
That's
I'll just be
funny.
like, I can see you. But like,
Yeah,
honestly, he was very, very polite, very
yeah,
respectful.
yeah.
We asked him for feedback after our match, and he said, look, I don't actually have much to give you because I was just so entertained that I couldn't like watch it critically. And I was like, because I'm perfect. Thank you.
Exactly. I feel like, I mean, not only are you guys great tag teams, like both of you, but also like four of the most entertaining people across like not even Australia, but pro wrestling like as a whole. Like I feel like that was just a recipe for success either way it went. I obviously thoroughly
Absolutely, it was.
enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed that match and everything. There was also somebody else who was a part of that, who I know you've spoken highly of. Me and you have talked about her, that being Delta, now Zaria, who is now signed to WWE NXT. I have to imagine that's probably really empowering for you to see her. I know it was no shock to you. We've talked about this, but what are your thoughts on her run in NXT thus far?
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm going to be completely honest. I actually don't watch wrestling anymore.
That's fair. There's a lot
I
of wrestling.
I catch clips of my
Uh-huh.
friends, so
Okay.
I've seen clips of what she's doing,
Hmm.
and like I'm not surprised. Like she's always just been a star.
Yeah.
Like from day one when I met her, I was like, "Girl, I'm gonna miss you when you get signed," and she'd be like, "Oh my gosh, no, stop!" And I'm like, "It's gonna happen." And every time I saw her, I'd be like, "You're gonna be going soon," and she'd be like, "Oh my gosh, Nikki, shut up." And then, we heard that she got signed, and I was like,
Hmm.
"What did I bloody tell you?"
Hmm.
So I've seen clips of what she's doing. Again, I'm not surprised, but she is killing it. Um, I honestly, this is a big call, but I honestly see her on the same level as Rhea Ripley in a year or two.
Yeah.
But love that for her. She will probably hate me saying this, but she is the biggest softie, and she is just such a lovely woman, and I love her. And I'm glad that I got the chance to wrestle her before she
Yeah.
moved over there.
Huh. No, I don't know if you've seen, but her and Rhea already had a backstage. They were together in a backstage segment on NXT. I think like the second or third week Zaria was there. So like they wasted no time teasing that.
Yeah, and it's like so they both came from the same school year.
Yeah,
They
like
both have a very similar presence. Um, they've both worked with Dean Brady, who was Zaria's brother. So they have a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
So it's like bound to happen, whether it's this year, next year,
Mm.
who knows?
Hell, we could get a face off in the Rumble for all we know. I mean, granted,
Oh my god, please.
Rhea is champ right now, but we've seen champs in the Rumble before. Charlotte entered as champ a couple years ago, so who knows? It is.
Yeah, yeah, no, that could happen.
Mhm. I do want to talk a little bit more about elsewhere last year. You had a ton of amazing matchups in 2024. So, as you're looking back on your last year, your collection of matches, what would you say are some of your proudest performances from an in-ring standpoint, or I should say, entertaining standpoint, entertainment standpoint?
Okay, again, being completely honest,
Yourself,
I thought I had a crap 2024.
really?
Yes, I had some great moments, which is
Okay.
phenomenal. I know I could have done better. So that's why I'm going the extra mile this year to make sure
Okay.
2025 is Nikki Van Blair's bloody year. Um, uh, not obviously a big moment for me was wrestling Big Fudge on the New Japan Tamashii show. Not so much for what we did in the match, but just for the history.
Yeah.
I don't know much about New Japan history. I'm so sorry. But from what I know, from the knowledge that I do have, it was the first time a transgender woman has wrestled under New Japan, even if it's just on the Tamashii brand. First time ever. And it's probably only the second singles intergender match in New Japan history. The first being China, so like great company. Um, so just to make that history is that's why I'm here. Like I often say that my goal in wrestling is not to get signed. No offense, if you want to get signed, love that for you. But my goal in wrestling is to kick doors down, shatter glass ceilings for future queer wrestlers. So even having that little moment has knocked a door down. And I hope that more people can push through that door space now that I've opened it. Um, so that was a great moment for me in 2024. Working for OPW's Her show,
Yeah.
obviously, as I've spoken, phenomenal. Loved that. Yeah, wow, I didn't do much last year, did I?
They also don't
But that's
record
going to change.
everything.
Yeah, yeah, no, they don't, because I am aware that I had some other matches that weren't recorded. Like I had a singles match with Kingsley on like a random festival show, which
Yeah.
was really fun because we knew it was like a festival show. It wasn't like as important as the Black Label ones. We were like, let's go out and just have fun and let's pay homage to all the diva matches that we loved growing up. Um, so that was super fun as well. Um, but yeah, no, 2024 wasn't the best for me, but this year is already shaping up to be probably one of my best years, and it's only bloody January. So
Well, I do have to say, whether you believe it or not, you did have a successful year because you once again ranked on the QWI 200 at number 168. I also know Kingsley and Chick Cassidy were on there, Charlie Evans as well. So I feel like that is equals a successful year, another year. So, what is your reaction again to being on the QWI again? And what does this honor mean to you?
um, just a quick correction, and I'll tell you why it's important that I bring this up. I was 169 on the QWI last year, which is important because as soon as I saw 169, I started laughing because I'm a child.
Hmm.
Um, I think I think even the year before, I think I was originally 169, but because the list had to be adjusted, I was shifted down. And I was like,
Got
no, no,
it.
no, 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 leave me at 169, please, just for the joke. Um, what I love, so I love being ranked, love that for me. But I just love that queer wrestlers have their own list in general.
Yeah.
But the fact that there are so many of us in 2020 2024 at the time that not everyone can be ranked
Yeah.
is that that's why I'm doing it. you
Mhm.
know. I love seeing more queer wrestlers come in, whether it's in PWA in Australia or just across the world. And just the fact that there are more than 200 of us actively kicking ass at the moment is like phenomenal. Um, so I was like, again, happy to be included in the list, but the fact that there's so many of us is that's what really made me happy, to be honest. And I was very, very excited to see Charlie Evans get ranked at number 8, because she had a phenomenal year
I
last
know.
year. And she is just she she says about Madison Eagles that she thinks it's unfair that Madison Eagles is just good at everything, which she is. We all are aware of how great that woman is. But that's how I feel about Charlie Evans. Like she is just good at everything to the point where it's annoying. Like, just give me one thing. Like, she has got great comedic timing. She's
Yeah.
an excellent technical wrestler. She can also do deathmatch if she wants. Her main event style of wrestling, she could go for a 60-minute Iron Man match. And I'm like, can you just leave me one thing? Just give me one. Something good at everything.
I think you do because I don't think Charlie would consider herself a diva. You have that.
Oh, absolutely, she wouldn't be. No, she would hate to call herself that. So yes, I've got that one up on her. But that's pretty much it.
Fair enough. I again though, I feel like that's such a great segue too because we have an exciting event coming up in the spirit of the LGBTQ community. I'm talking about PWA Tag Race. Little bit of a nod to maybe Drag Race. Coming up
Mhm.
on January 31st, which is celebrating the PWA roster and the LGBTQ community. You were obviously one of the openly identifying members of the community. And you've said before, you've praised PWA for being a safe place that fosters equal opportunities. So can you talk more about your experience at PWA and how they've empowered and uplifted you?
So just from the second that anyone steps foot into PWA, so like at the tryouts,
Yeah.
they give like an opening speech before they absolutely drill them into the ground. But in that opening speeches in PWA, we accept everyone regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, all that stuff. And essentially, it's like, and if you don't agree with that, you can get out.
Yeah.
So it's drilled into anyone who steps foot into
I
PWA
love that.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes I like to even go to the tryouts just to help out, but I also visually represent that idea. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, they accept her, they will accept anyone, which sounds kind of bad now that I say it out loud, but you know what I mean. Like, we accept anyone from any walk of life in PWA, just as long as you keep your head down, work hard, and you're respectful of everyone. You are absolutely welcome at PWA. I have never once felt any sort of opposition in PWA. And even if I did, I would call them out, or I would go through the process of, formally reporting them, because that behavior should not be accepted anywhere, not just in PWA, anywhere in wrestling. Um, yeah, so I've always felt accepted, always felt treated equally as all the other wrestlers on the roster. Um, I don't believe I get handed any opportunities just because of who I am or it's a minority push or whatever. I work bloody hard to get what I get. Um, and I would like to think that I have put in the effort, not just in training in the ring, but on social media as well. I've put in
Absolutely.
that effort to be given the opportunity to have my first ever singles match on a Black Label show at Tag Race against Jack Bonza.
Yeah, and from what I understand, I think it might be your first ever singles match against Bonza, I think.
Yes, we've wrestled
Yeah.
in tag matches, but it's like never one on one. So I'm very excited for that. And I think a lot of people are going to think like, oh, this is such a big opportunity for Nikki. What's she got to do? It's like it's a big opportunity for him. Let's be real.
You're very
Like
right.
let's not get it twisted here, honey.
I feel like too, it's an interesting dynamic too, because Bonza is like one of the trainers at PWA too. So it's somebody who you've kind of grown up with it and learned under. So it's kind of like a mentor-mentee dynamic too as well. So
Mhm.
what is your mindset heading into not only your first ever singles, but also kind of somebody who you look up to as a mentor, I have to imagine.
Yeah, no, I absolutely do look up to him. I'm not going to tell him that though. No, it is. In all seriousness, it's a very big opportunity. It's one that I'm not going to take for granted, and I'm going to take this ball and run with it. And I want to show him, or actually not just him, but like all my coaches. Like Robbie will be in Japan, but he will be streaming it live because he's psychotic. Um, I'm sure Madison will be at the show, or if not, watching at home.
Mhm.
I just want to show all my coaches that like, yes, I'm a diva, but this diva can bloody wrestle. Um, and I don't think I get many opportunities to show that. Um, so this is what I'm going to use this match for and to do. Obviously, I'm going to win, but
Mhm.
that's another story.
Feel like this is an awesome opportunity, and obviously we have
Hmm.
some other LGBTQ representatives on this. We obviously have Charlie Evans and Shay Cassidy as well. Shay and Everett will be vying for the PWA tag titles against Aaron Jake and Belle Pierce. I miss Belle Pierce, by the way. Please tell her I said hello. I miss her so much.
Will
We
do.
obviously also have the PWA Premiership kicking off. We have Ben Braxton and Lena Cross, and obviously a big six-person tag main event. So, other than your own, which match? I feel like I already know the answer to this, but other than your own, which match are you looking forward to on the tag race card?
Like literally all of them. Like this card ate. Like it devoured everything on that bloody
Great.
plate. I think from a professional standpoint, I am most interested in the tag team title match.
Yes.
Because whatever happens in this match, Frankie and I are gunning for you. But then also, one of Frankie and I's goals for 2025 would be the first co-sole of PWA champions.
Ooh.
So, you know, whatever happens, happens. But yes, no, I would love to see the result of the tag team title match. Because you're not going to hold it for long. So sorry.
Now, how would you, in theory, because Robbie Eagles is the current sole PWA champion, how would you, in theory, achieve this co of sole PWA championship title? How do you think you would get there?
I would split my hair and ask for it.
It's fair.
Like, men have trouble saying no to me, and I like to get what I want.
Hmm.
So I'm sure if I ask nicely enough, hey, can we have a handicap match for the solo PWA title? They'd be like, sure, whatever you want. Do you want it to be a pillow fight? We can do that for you as well.
Robbie Eagles in a pillow. I would pay to see that.
A lot of people would, and he would hate every second of it.
Meanwhile, you're just having the time of your life, and Robbie is like, what did I get myself into? That's hilarious.
He would hate it. He has a this is this is probably a dark secret that he doesn't want me telling anyone, but he has a very soft spot for me. So
Hmm.
he would hate it, but he would also love how happy it makes me.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Okay. I want that match now. So, I mean, Robbie Eagles is a trainer. Robbie, you have some say in the matter. Like, you could probably make the match happen, Robbie.
Well, we could also make it happen. So Frankie and I, it's very documented that we're very good friends with Zack Sabre Jr.
Yes.
And Zack Sabre Jr. is pretty much Robbie's leader, and
Yeah.
we're pretty much Zack Sabre Jr.'s leader.
Mm.
So we could just tell Robbie, bro, you need to defend your title.
That too. That too. Okay. I'm here for it. First, though, I feel like you need to get the PWA tag titles and then solo P, or you can do it either way. It just be two belts, Nikki two belts, like,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Nikki one and a half belts, I guess it would be actually.
It would be one and a half. Yeah.
One and a I want to talk to obviously the importance of tag race. So tell me about what is tag race? Obviously, I feel like it's obviously celebrating the Sydney Mardi Gras. That's the biggest Australian LGBTQ celebration. So it's a little bit of a nod to that and drag race, which is very LGBTQ friendly. We love RuPaul here. So tell us more about
Hmm.
the importance of tag race and what the event stands for you.
Again, so sorry that I have to be saying this out loud. I have never watched Drag Race before in my life.
Mhm.
I feel like every little queer can have one major interest, one major like gay interest, and mine is Real Housewives. So
Okay.
in my little gay world, I don't have room for anything else. But in saying that, I do understand the importance that Drag Race, not even just Drag Race, but like dragging in general has on pop culture. And especially with the introduction of Drag Race, it is bringing in queer culture into so many households that we didn't have access to
Mhm.
before. Like I know so many like the cishet dark brooding characters in wrestling love Drag Race. Like Edward Dusk from Melbourne is like the biggest Drag Race fan ever. And he tries to drop quotes to me all the time. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about. Um, so to incorporate that into an Australian wrestling sense by introducing this tag race
Yeah.
concept show um, is so important, not just for the representation, the awareness that the show brings, but there are going to be so many like queer people out there in Sydney who have never watched a wrestling show before, but might see this advertised on Instagram, maybe on a poster, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, a gay themed wrestling show! I am so there." And if we can get those first timers through the door, show them how camp wrestling is, because wrestling is so fucking camp if you
Hmm.
really think about it. They're going to be like, "Oh my god, I loved every second of this. I'm coming
And
back."
Sydney Rail is hosting. So yeah.
Yes, and especially because Sydney Rail has obviously past experiences with PWA,
Yeah.
so they're well aware of pro wrestling in general.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, no, it's very important for queer culture in Australia, but obviously specifically in Sydney as well. Um, but I just know it's going to get them through the door, and what's going to make them keep coming back is Sam Osborne.
It's fair. I understand. That's all I'll say on the matter. I understand.
Exactly.
No, I have to ask because I am so curious. This is obviously happening 2 weeks before the 2025 Sydney Mardi Gras starts, which is Australia's biggest LGBTQ celebration. It's going to be all over the streets of Sydney. Have you personally attended it like in the past? Like I'm so curious of like what activities they have and all about it. So if you have attended it, I'm curious just to know more about it.
Yes, I've
Okay.
gone several times. But post COVID, you have to pay to get on
Ah,
to the
okay.
street to watch a parade. I'm like, I don't believe in charging a fee for someone to celebrate how proud they are of themselves.
Hmm.
So I haven't gone since they started charging.
Okay.
But pre COVID, it was such a good time. The first time I went, I was 16. Um, I told my parents that I was staying at Rachel's house, but then we went to Mardi Gras and I was in so much shit. Being underage and all that jazz.
Mhm.
But it's a judgment free, we love everyone zone. Like I've been on Oxford Street while the parade happens, and I could not tell you a single float that came by because you're just there drinking on the street, having fun. Like, obviously not drinking on the street because that's not legal. Um, but you're just there having
You're
fun.
pre-gaming. You're pre-gaming.
Yes, yes. I drink water on the street, New South Wales police. Um, you're just there having fun with everyone, vibing, wearing cool outfits. It's a bloody good time. And when the government stops charging people to bloody watch the parade, I'll be back.
What has been your favorite outfit that you wore to one of the Mardi Gras in the past? Like, describe it to me.
Um, oh, I did Juliet from Lollipop Chainsaw,
Okay.
um, which got a lot of attention because the skirt is very, very short.
On brand
That
for
was super
you.
fun. I know. If it covers my ass, I'm not interested. Um, but I took a picture, and maybe I can even send it to you. I took a picture with, so I was drunk as hell. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Um, and walking back to like the bus to go home, I walked past a fire station, and all these hot firefighters were outside. So I was like, I'm gonna stop and talk to them. So I was flirting with these firefighters in this little cheerleader outfit. Even got a picture with them where I dropped into a split.
Oh my God.
Um, and then their alarm went off or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, we've got to get to work." And I was like, "Can I come?" And they were so close of letting this drunk little slutty cheerleader onto their truck to come watch them put out fires. But then I think like the chief or the captain or whatever was like, "Oh no, unfortunately you can't." This close,
Damn.
this close. But I've got the pictures to prove it. So
I absolutely need to see this. If you, I absolutely need to see this. You need to send them to me
I'll send it to
later.
you. Hopefully you can see in my eyes that I was
Uh,
just wasted as
yeah,
hell.
Nikki is gone. Oh, that's amazing. I wonder what would you have would it have been like if had you ridden their truck with them? Oh my God, that would have been like the time of your life.
Oh, I kick myself that it didn't happen, but yeah, maybe one day
Almost.
they'll let Frankie and I both on. Just a couple
Mm,
of dumb girls wanting to see what's up.
mm. No, you're not dumb.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely not. It's just an act.
Exactly. Couple more questions for you. We were mentioning earlier, obviously, the Divas era. Me and you have talked about that extensively in the past. I know a little bit ago you asked the PWA roster about their favorite divas. So to kind of flip the script on you, you cannot say yourself. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of divas from wrestling?
Oh, that's such an easy question.
Sable, obviously.
Stacey Keebler, Tori Wilson. The fourth is the fourth is like pretty much anyone could fit there. Like Kelly could go there, the Cat could go there, Trish Stratus could go there, but I love to put Eve Torres there.
Okay.
Oh, that
Missy.
woman, just so incredible. And just to have like the most iconic heel turn and then the most iconic heel run.
Yeah.
And then as she is at her peak, she's like, I want to have a family. Peace.
It's I know. I was still like where first I think that's actually this month. 12 years ago this month, I think it was. Yeah, January 2013. Oh my God. Years. Oh my God.
Oh, she was capable of so much more. But we love
Yeah.
that she started her family. She has her self defense business going on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, we love that for her. But those are my Mount Rushmore,
Okay.
like very easily.
Now, from the current landscape, who do you think embodies the best diva in the current landscape of wrestling? Yourself, obviously, duh.
Myself, obviously. Um, oh, oh my God.
Tiffany
I
Stratton
would
comes to
love.
mind personally.
Yeah, yeah. No, she does. She's got the diva look. I would love to say Myla Grace, but that's a we're obviously very close. We're family.
Yeah.
I always make this joke that I'm like, how on earth do you go around looking like Kelly, but you wrestle like a man?
She hits really hard.
um, she's such an underrated wrestler. But I'm like, girl, why are you doing all these splits and these cool submissions when you could just grab a bitch's hair and wang it down. Um, we do have that little joke going on. I actually couldn't tell you who else embodies diva energy, to be honest. Oh, actually, you know who does? And this has come from my very limited knowledge of what's happening in WWE right now. Lash Legend.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Oh, she is so cool, and she's got diva energy.
Yeah.
If she is offended by that comment, I do apologize. It is a compliment coming from me.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I feel like Lash Legend, a name like just that name itself seems very diva-esque. Like you got the lashes going on
Oh
and
yeah,
like that's like a perfect name, honestly.
she's a baddie.
I agree.
From what I've seen, she is going to go far. That one.
Agree. Now, final question. You obviously said one of your goals for the year is to be a co-solo PWA champion, obviously the tag titles. But what else are you looking to accomplish in 2025 personally and professionally?
I want to. So no trans woman has won a women's title before in Australia. So that's my goal this year is to accomplish that. But also in saying that, if someone were to beat me to it, I would be so happy. I just
Yeah.
want anyone to reach that goal and knock that, glass ceiling for us. But that is a personal goal. I would love to win tag gold with Frankie. She is the current BCW Women's Champion, which is her first title, which I'm so excited for. I absolutely love that for her. But like, there was that selfish part of me that was like, oh, I wish we could have won tag titles first
Yeah.
together. So that's also a goal of mine. Um, it never was a goal of mine before to wrestle internationally because I was like, I'm just happy doing my thing here. But I am actually looking forward to achieving that goal as well. Whether that's in America, while I have a legal working visa and everything, of course, we deal with legal stuff here. Or if that's in New Zealand, because, that is one of my home countries.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, I would love to achieve that as well. Like, 2025 is going to be my year. So sorry to everyone else who's saying, oh, this is my year. No, it's mine. Like, it's mine. I'm stealing it from you. Thanks. Love that.
If you wrestle in the States, I expect a message from you letting me know where it is and when it is.
Yes, after I have legally obtained my working visa, I will
Exactly.
absolutely let you know if that's happening this year. Oh,
Okay.
just in general, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, Nikki, before we let you go, please let the listeners know where they can find you online and support you.
Um, for those not in the US, I'm on TikTok at uh,
The time of recording this, TikTok is being banned like tomorrow in hours.
in I think in an hour and 15 minutes, I believe.
Uh, 3 hours and 15 minutes. But yes.
Ah, okay. I was watching. Anyways, I think I'm. Oh my god, I said that so confidently. Now I can't remember my username. I think it's real Nikki Candy. I could be wrong. Don't look up Nikki Van Blair on TikTok because my old account was hacked by. I'm pretty sure he was like 14.
Damn.
Um, I know, hate him. Instagram Nicki Menagerie. Twitter and Facebook. I'm at Nikki Van Blair. Twitter is the only time it's permissible to dead name something. I'm never calling it X. Elon Musk, go
Yeah.
fuck yourself. Um, I think I have a big cartel as well, Nikki Van Blair. You could try looking that up. If I don't, have fun. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
And soon to be co-sole PWA champion, Nikki
Yeah,
Van
yeah,
Blair.
exactly. Shine that baby up for me, Robbie Eagles.
Robbie already has gold. He is the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion. So, like, Robbie, do us a solid.
At the last show we did, he
Yeah.
left his stuff backstage and he left his
Yeah.
titles on this couch
Oh,
and then he walked off and I was like, Frankie, come sit on this couch, sit with a title on you and act as if nothing happened. Robbie walks in 2 minutes later, looks up, and just like shakes his head. I was like, get used to this. These are ours now.
You're just teasing the future. You're giving us a vision. That's all.
Exactly. Like, have fun while you've got them, Robbie.
And obviously, don't forget to check out PWA Tag Race coming up on January 31st. You can watch it on YouTube. It'll be a little bit early if you're in the US, but you can always watch it later in the day. There's always a replay. Nikki, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I always have so much fun when I talk to you.